Hi there guys, today I've decided to do a tutorial on concealing dark circles or dark rings around the eyes and underneath the eye area. I've had a problem with dark circles underneath my eyes ever since I remember. The reason why I have it is actually hereditary causes of dark rings underneath the eyes, and the most common cause is actually lack of sleep. Also, having too much of sleep can also cause dark rings underneath the eyes. Not having sufficient intake of liquids is also a main cause of dark rings forming underneath the eyes, because when there isn't sufficient liquids that's being taken in, the blood vessels around the eye area start constricting, and as a result you get these darkish patches underneath the eyes area. You may get a blackish brown a patch underneath the eye or around the eye, and you also get a bluish black patch underneath the eye. Generally the bluish black is found on a little bit darker skinned people, and I have found that for me, although I have tried many other types of concealers, they didn't really work well for me because I have really dark circles underneath my eyes. What I have discovered is that when you have a dark brown or blackish hue out, okay, and when it's not brought down to body temperature, and when you apply it underneath your eye, it tends to cake much easier. And if you have little creases, I don't know whether you can see it, but if you have little creases like I have underneath my eyes, then it tends to start sliding down during the course of the day and settling within those creases. So the most important thing is to try and get your concealer or your color corrector to body temperature. So what I do is that I take a bit and I place it on my hand, and let me see, I rub it, right, and you've noticed it becomes a bit softer, and you would find it becomes a bit creamier, right, once it's brought down to body temperature. Okay, then you've got to use a concealer brush. Okay, you dab on your concealer and you start from the tear duct area, going onto the or should I say tracing the outer line of the circle. You go all the way up, okay, and then you start dabbing on the inside. You've got to dab up until the lash line. Okay. This is what you should look like. Okay, you should have a decent layer of the concealer around your eye. Then you've got to pat your concealer in. If you apply a foundation over the concealer like this, it tends to cake even quicker, and it gives you this dry look. Okay, so you've got to take your ring finger, which the pad of your ring finger is actually the softest of all the fingers, because the pressure on the ring finger is actually much lighter than the rest of them. So you've got to pat. You pat all the way in, okay, and make sure that the concealer settles in on your skin. Now this is how it should look. Okay. Then what I do is I take a sponge applicator. Now, if you want a little thicker layer application of your foundation, then you can use a dry latex sponge. But if you want a thinner layer, you can moisten your sponge, squeeze out the excess water. And what I normally do is that I use the edge of the sponge, because this edge can actually go up to the lash line and give me quite good coverage there. Okay, I dab on some foundation and I dab, dab, dab. Okay, I am dabbing underneath. Okay, and we go over around the eye, dab, 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 dab. And just as we patted off the concealer, you've got to pat off the foundation as well. My camera's not zooming in very well. Okay, there we go. Right. Now, this is the side that has not been concealed, obviously, you can see that. And this is the side that has been concealed. Big difference. Okay. All I did was my orange brown concealer, dabbed it on, patted it into the skin, took my moist sponge, patted on my foundation underneath the eye area, patted it into the skin with my ring finger again, and then to set it so that your foundation does not come off during the day and it stays on for a longer period, actually take a little brush like this and I put in some powder and I dab the powder in. Dab, 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 dab. Okay, so if you can see this, so that's it. I